As we get closer and closer to the NFL draft, I'm getting more and more nervous and apprehensive because it seems as if the Denver Broncos might be willing to trade a bunch of draft capital to move up and get one of those top 3 talents. I'll tell you why that makes me so nervous, what is the latest news and rumors, and I want to hear from y'all on what you would do if you were the signal caller for the Broncos in the NFL draft. But before we dive into that, I need to know, because everything hinges on this question. If the Denver Broncos could get a Patrick Mahomes type talent, forget all the Mahomes drama and his annoying voice and his annoying brother and all of that kind of stuff, if we could get a Patrick Mahomes talent, how many future first-round draft picks would you be willing to give up right now for Patrick Mahomes type talent? Is it 2 firsts? Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5? Is it even more? Well, it seems as if the asking price for Caleb Williams starts at 5 first-round draft picks, and that makes me absolutely terrified. Let's dive in right now. This is crazy that we're doing this. I have 2 brother-in-laws who are huge Chicago Bears fans, and this has been just my text thread this entire day with them, is this rumor right now, which is that Sean Payton, according to Tony Pauline, who writes for Sportskeeda.com, he comes out, he's got a ton of Twitter followers. I was trying to look into like how accurate has he been. He is in he's at the Senior Bowl now, and it looks like he's fairly plugged in with a lot of people, a lot of scouts in the organization. And he was able to confirm that the Broncos are interested in moving up, and that if one of those top 3 dudes is on the board, that they would even be willing to move on from Patrick Surtain, plus include multiple first-round picks. And some of those rumors are saying that it would take Patrick Surtain, Jerry Jeudy, who are both first-round picks themselves, and 3 first-round picks, and that's where the conversation would start. Then you would need to throw in a couple of second or third round draft picks. And so how does that sit with you, like as a Broncos fan? As far as I'm concerned, there are 2 different ways that you can make the Super Bowl. You can have a Lamar Jackson or a Patrick Mahomes. I would even say like Joe Burrow. Those are the 3 dudes in that category where like they have enough talent that they make everyone on the team better. They like raise the entire ceiling of that team. And even if they have garbage receivers and a garbage line, like they can raise that ceiling. And then I think there's everyone else. And for everyone else, it's all about how do you build an insane roster around that team so that anyone can sling the rock to them. And I just think that the San Francisco 49ers are that exact mold, that you have the last pick in the NFL draft, Mr. Irrelevant. He's not something to write home about. He's not elite. I'm not dogging on him. He's still amazing. But I don't think he's in that Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar Jackson category. And yet, if you have Ayuk and Kittle and Christian McCaffrey and Debo, and you have Kyle Shanahan, one of the most inventive play callers, calling plays for him, an amazing ownership group. You got John Lynch just giving Kyle Shanahan whatever he needs for that system. And I truly believe that you could take Russell Wilson and put him in that exact role, and that Russell Wilson would have those San Francisco 49ers in the exact same spot that Brock Purdy did. The problem becomes when you try to sell the farm thinking that you have a Mahomes, but really you got a Brock Purdy. That is when you are in massive trouble. And let's look at some of that. So essentially, this website goes back and it looks at top 15 the past 15 years draft picks who are in the first round. And you got to remember, a lot of draft picks are given up to go get one of these dudes in the first round. And what this thing is saying is that quarterbacks in the first round are about a 36% hit rate, which means, yeah, Caleb Williams might be the new Patrick Mahomes, but the chances are, right, what's 100 minus 36? I don't know. What is it, 1,000? I'm not a math guy. Chances are you got like a 60% chance that he's not going to be the future Patrick Mahomes. So this goes through all of the previous draft picks and tells you, was this a hit, a miss, or an incomplete? And Kenny Pickett, I think I would say that's a miss. Imagine if the Broncos traded up for Kenny Pickett. How would you feel? This here says Trevor Lawrence was a home run. And I'm like, man, if the Broncos traded 5 future first-round draft picks for Trevor Lawrence, how would you feel? Like, if that's a home run, get me out of here. Obviously, Zach Wilson, You trade 5 first-round draft picks for Zach Wilson? No. Trey Lance, 5 first-round draft picks for Trey Lance? Absolutely not. And so you look at picks 1, 2, and 3, right? And you even heard Trevor Lawrence rumored as this generational quarterback. Imagine if the Denver Broncos took 5 future firsts who could be a tight end to fix things, who could be a replacement left tackle, who could be all of these things. You mortgage your future thinking you're getting this elite Mahomes-like talent, but instead you get Trevor Lawrence, who's great. Like, I envy his hair, but I would never in a million years give up 5 future first-round picks for Trevor Lawrence. And so let's keep going through here. And obviously the rest of you wouldn't even want to give up 1 future first for these other 4 dudes, right? Absolutely not. Now looking here, Joe Burrow, that's an example where even 5 future firsts for Joe Burrow would have me like a little, I don't know, I'd feel like a little scratchy with that. It doesn't make me feel great. Tua, absolutely not. Herbert says home run. How is Herbert doing? Has Herbert raised the ceiling of that team? How many playoff games has Justin Herbert won with the Chargers? And so again, you're doing 5 future first round picks for Justin Herbert. That doesn't feel good. Jordan Love actually seems to be one of the better in that bunch. Like, he's looked decent. Going back, Kyler Murray, 5 future firsts for Kyler Murray. Absolutely not. Daniel Jones, same thing. Definitely not. Dwayne Haskins. You go to the 2018 draft, Baker, 5 future firsts for Baker or Darnold. Josh Allen, that's an interesting case there that you again, I would feel pretty bad giving 5 future first round picks for Josh Allen, but that might sit a little better with you. But if you just look back, I think there are 2 ways to get to the Super Bowl. You have Mahomes, or you have Peyton Manning, or you have Tom Brady, like that absolute elite of the elite, or you build a great team a la the Ravens, a la the Broncos when we were in the Super Bowl that last year with Manning. He wasn't playing like the normal PFM we remember, but we built insane talent around him with Demaryius, with Julius, with a great line, with Von Miller, with DeMarcus Ware, Aqib Talib. We built around him and helped him get to that point, and so he didn't have to raise all ships. So that's just my 2 cents on this. I would feel horrible if the Broncos give up. I would feel horrible if we move on from Pat Surtain. I think he locks down the field. That allows Vance Joseph to just open up so much defensively. And if Pat Surtain leaves, our defense is going to become a sieve because we are able to load the box and do things because of how he shuts down the number 1 wideout, that when he's gone, we're in big trouble, and in a way that I don't think Caleb Williams steps in and does immediately. But I want to hear from you. If it could be, let's just say that the overall number 1 draft pick is Mahomes-like talent. Let's say that 5 years from now, we're talking about Caleb Williams like he is Patrick Mahomes. How many first-round draft picks would you be okay sending to get that guy in Denver? Can't wait to read them. And Broncos Country, giddy up.